I'm Will Ripley in Taipei, the capital of ROC, the Republic of China, commonly known as Taiwan. This island is a vibrant democracy of 23 million people and a key ally of the United States, about 100 miles from mainland China.
And I'm Selina Wang in Beijing, the capital of China, officially called the People's Republic of China. The PRC was founded in 1949 by the victorious Communist Party after a bloody civil war.
On the losing side, the nationalists under Chiang Kai-shek, who had ruled since the 1920s, they fled here to Taiwan, where the ROC flag still flies today. Two sides, both claiming control of one country, a decades-long dispute, halting travel and trade and leaving a lingering threat of war.
Initially, both the United States and the United Nations recognized Taipei as the seat of the Chinese government. But amid the shifting political relations at the height of the Cold War, that changed in the 1970s. The PRC replaced the ROC at the UN, and the United States changed diplomatic relations. It moved its embassy from Taipei to here in Beijing. While the U.S. has adopted a so-called one China policy, it has never recognized the Communist Party's sovereign claim over Taiwan. Washington continues to sell weapons to Taipei, but it has remained deliberately unclear about whether it would come to Taiwan's defense in the event of a Chinese invasion. It keeps Beijing guessing.
You know, you hear people saying Biden wants to start a new Cold War with China. I don't want a Cold War with China. I just want to make China understand that we are not going to step back. We are not going to change any of our views.
That looming threat of invasion is only part of China's ongoing campaign to squeeze Taiwan. Decades of diplomatic pressure by Beijing means this island has very few formal diplomatic allies, because any nation that wants to normalize relations with China has to sever formal diplomatic ties with Taipei. The island's Olympic team can't even carry the Taiwanese flag. They have to compete under the name Chinese Taipei. In Singapore in 1992, the two sides did agree, at least in theory, to the existence of one China.
It's impossible to overstate just how important Taiwan is to the ruling Communist Party and its legitimacy. China sees the self-ruled island as a breakaway province that must be reunified with the mainland, even by force if necessary. Reunification is also rooted in the Communist Party's goal to reverse China's century of humiliation by colonial powers. That means returning China's borders to something more like that of the Qing Empire. It's the basis of modern China's claims to Xinjiang, Tibet, Hong Kong, and Taiwan.
Putting sovereignty on the back burner gave Taiwan's economy a boost. Cross-strait trade, tourism, and money moving again. In 2015, the ruling parties on both sides met again in Singapore, a historic summit between Chinese leader Xi Jinping and Taiwan's then president Ma Ying-jeou. 1 year later, a turning point, Taiwan's 2016 election of Tsai Ing-wen, the island's first female president, leading a longtime pro-independence party. Tensions rising ever since, something Taiwan blames on China's plan to push its power across the Indo-Pacific. Taiwan's young democracy divided on the issue of unification with the mainland. The tide is turning. In 2020, Tsai won a landslide re-election, vowing to defend Taiwan's democracy from Xi's increasingly powerful and authoritarian China. Cross-strait ties plunging to their lowest level in decades.
台湾人民和朝野政党的最大的共识就是捍卫主权以及我们民主自由的生活方式，这一点我们没有妥协的空间。
With U.S.-China tensions at an all-time high, Washington and Taipei have moved closer. In 2016, then U.S. President-elect Donald Trump broke a decades-long precedent and spoke to President Tsai on the phone. He also elevated official exchanges between Washington and Taipei, a move that infuriated Beijing.
China's refusal to condemn the Russian invasion of Ukraine has many here asking, what is Beijing planning for Taiwan? Testing the island's defenses, flying scores of warplanes near the island, making President Xi's long-standing calls for peaceful reunification ring hollow.
We will not allow China to isolate Taiwan.
In August 2022, U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi became the highest-ranking U.S. lawmaker to visit this island in 25 years, a move Beijing called a major political provocation. In response, China launched military exercises beyond the median line, encircling the island. During her visit, Pelosi delivered the unequivocal message that America stands with Taiwan. But if the time comes, would the U.S. send in American troops to defend this Chinese-speaking democracy, a democracy with an uncertain future?